Well guys, good morning. We are here in a town called Hoiniki. We are in the Gomel Oblast, and you might ask me, well, what are we doing? Why are we doing here in Hoiniki? Well, the reason why is because today I'm going to take you to the Polessie Radioecological Zone. This is the closed zone here on the Belarusian side of the border. And the reason is because of Chernobyl. Now, most people have gone to the Ukrainian side, but not many people have actually gone to the Belarusian side. It's much more difficult to get to because it's patrolled, it's on air, land, and on the rivers as well. So let me take you on this journey, a very interesting journey, and I will explain a bit more. So I'm with Natalia and I'm with Alec. Доброе утро, Alec. Мы готовы?
Yes, of course.
Of course, we're ready.
No,
Okay. In our van, let's go. Anyway, we've got permission to film inside the checkpoint here, and there's a sign here in front of me. So on this site here, there was the village or the town of Byelorussian, and it says where lived 728 people, and it was evacuated in 1986. So there's the guards hut there, and this is the Polessie State Radiological Reserve, and it was set up in 1988, in July 1988, as an exclusion zone around the towns of Hoiniki and Bragin. That is the van that is going to take us around. And on this territory, approximately 22,000 people lived prior to the Chernobyl disaster on the 26th of April 1986. And approximately a week after the events, the first evacuations began within a 30-kilometer radius zone. And Byelorussian, the town of Byelorussian, which was situated on this territory, was of course one of many settlements. Something like over 90 settlements were evacuated on the Belarusian side. So we're about to get underway shortly. There's our man there, Alec, and he is bringing us on the tour, and he has processing our papers with the guards. So in order to access this site, you actually need a permit from the authorities. It is guarded, as I said, by land, river, and air. They say that we'll probably bump into some wild animals, horses, bears, wolves, and of course the bison, or the zubr, as the locals call them. Насколько велика зона?
Площадь территории, да? Сколько?
Да.
Я понял. Сейчас вместе с экспериментально-хозяйственной зоной, где мы находимся, и с заповедной зоной, площадь заповедника 216 тысяч гектар.
Это очень велико, да.
Это да,
Да.
большая территория. Да.
So this is the map of the Polessie Radioecological Reserve, and right now we are up here in Byelorussian, and we are approximately 41 kilometers from Chernobyl. And today we'll be going to Hoiniki, all the way down to Krasna Sela. And originally, when they set up the exclusion zone, it was at 30 kilometers, but as they found more cesium, they extended it to 50 kilometers on either side of the Chernobyl plant. So this is actually inside the museum. And we have some pictures here, paintings here, of the evacuation of Pripyat and of many towns around the area. So this is the list of all the towns in the exclusion zone. So we have the Bragin region, places like Rafalov, Pechi, and Hoiniki region, Babichin, that's where we are right now. Krasna Sela, Novopokrovsk. All these villages contained the lives of 20,000 people uprooted in April and May 1986. What we have here are some of the animals that can be found in the reserve. Owls, ducks, stoats, badgers, wolves, bears, horses, and of course bisons.
Еще не глубокая зона, мы проезжаем по экспериментально-хозяйственной части. Потом мы уже скоро въедем в заповедную, вы это сразу поймете.
So now we're on our way to the next destination, and Alec has just explained to us that the levels of strontium in this area is actually quite high. So we got to be careful. So right now we're at the second checkpoint where we've had our papers checked, and we'll be given the go-ahead shortly thereafter to continue on our journey further south deep into the exclusion zone. And as Alec was saying at the museum here, just back there in Babichin, he said that in some parts of the reserve it'll be uninhabited for at least 8 million years from now. See, the problem was when we have the explosion blew out a lot of plutonium, and the plutonium has been replaced by aromium, and as time is going on, the affected areas will actually get worse and worse. I'm not a physics major, I didn't do physics, leaving cert physics in school, but this is going to be a very, very interesting trip deep into the exclusion zone. Not many people have actually done this. Remember, this zone was only open to tourists way back in 2016. And yeah, not many people here. It's a beautiful Sunday with clear skies, and hopefully we'll be able to see the Chernobyl nuclear power plant off in the distance in Ukraine. That's incredible. These are truly amazing animals. The European bison, synonymous with Belarus. They were brought here from Byelorussian Pusha in 1996, and there are approximately over 150 of these amazing beasts. I've never been this close to a bison. Truly amazing. Wow. I have to say, guys, these roads are very, very bumpy because they haven't been used or resurfaced in over 30 years. So we've just left Hoiniki and we're on our way deeper into the zone, into a town called Pagonia. Alright, we're pushing on deep into the exclusion zone. Oh, if the radiation doesn't get me, the bumps will. So we have arrived at our next location, the town of Pagonia. And right across from me, you will see the remnants of a Sovkhoz collective farm. And the name of it was Pobeda Socialism. Victory to Socialism. Yeah. Abandoned in 1986. And the odd thing was, the pigs from this farm, even well after the accident, were sold, the meat from the pigs was sold at the markets. Absolutely crazy. And there is just absolutely nothing and nobody here. The forestry services here have a terrible problem with forest fires every single summer because the soil here is quite dry. The land here goes up in flames, and that only exacerbates the problem of strontium and cesium in the soil. I actually remember the disaster at Chernobyl. I remember it well 35 years ago, and how the clouds, the radioactive clouds, flowed over Belarus. Belarus received 70% of the dose from Chernobyl. And the cloud moved over Scandinavia, and then it caught the easterly wind right across the North Sea into Scotland and into Ireland as well. And we were affected by it, by Chernobyl. Amazing when you think about it, but also the lives of the people, the ordinary people who lived here in the bread factories, on the collective farms, all working within the food and agribusiness industry. And all of a sudden, their lives overnight completely changed. And for many, they couldn't cope with the changes. So actually, as I mentioned, we're deep inside the 30-kilometer zone. Yeah. And I have to say, it is quite eerie here. So we have the remains of a truck. And you can still see the registration plate on it. GOP. Whatever that means, the Soviet registration plates. Check this out, guys. We have some abandoned combine harvesters that were used to harvest the wheat. We can just make out the numbers 9 and D84. There's actually a manufacturing plate, whoops, on one of the combine harvesters. And yes, it was made in Rostov-on-Don, at the Rostelmash factory. And it was manufactured and assembled in 1982. Now, completely abandoned and left here in 1986, in May 1986. And judging from what I've seen, this collective farm, Pobedie Socialisme, Victory to Socialism, Pobedie Farm, was actually quite a prosperous one. Because we had pigs here, we had wheat, chickens, dairy, some of the best land in Europe, and it can never be used again. So this is the decimeter, and it reads 0.67 microsieverts. Alec, это опасная зона?
Конечно, для проживания, да.
Да. So guys, we're in the danger zone. And according to the decimeter, we're 6 times over the limit of what it is normally. So yeah, I'm getting a chest x-ray right now. So we've got readings here of approximately 0.62 to 0.71. So yeah, this is actually quite dangerous. And we can't be here for too long, because we gotta move. So now we're on our way, guys, to check out the school here. And I'm looking at the decimeter the whole time. So as I step to one direction, it increases. So it's about 0.57 microsieverts, which isn't safe, by the way. So now we're on our way to the school, and it's getting higher and higher. This is it, guys. This is the main school. The whole place here is all overgrown, has been since it was abandoned 35 years ago in May 1986. This is it. This is the school. Quite a modern school it was at the time. All right, let's go inside. We're now moving into the main foyer of the school. Different rooms here. Uchebny Masteryski Masterclass. Wow. Think about it, back in the day, hundreds of pupils here in this school. And we have here some rooms. Yeah. Okay, let's go up to onto the next level. One thing that is telling, by the way, is now we're up off the land. The radiation level has dropped substantially. So while we were on the ground, it was 0.7 microsieverts, and now it's 0.16. So this area, this land, is still too dangerous for any kind of resettlement. Third class. Yeah. Now the kids who came in here to learn. No more. And this is a common feature. This was a common feature amongst many Soviet schools, where they would have halls of fame of war heroes. Yeah, heroes of the Great Patriotic War, 1941 to 45. Yeah. Truly amazing, guys. 200 pupils in this middle school or high school, and it's all gone. Yeah. Just outside here, guys, this is the actual Dom Kultury, the House of Culture. Alec, сколько людей здесь проживало?
1053.
1053.
1053 people.
1053 people. Yeah. So 1,000 people once lived here. This prosperous place. This very prosperous town. Hoiniki.
Let's go.
Yeah. Alec is insistent. He wants me to go inside and explore the House of Culture. He knows I like houses of culture. Indeed.
Come here, please.
Wow. Check this place out. The Dom Kultury. The House of Culture. So where we are right now, guys, we are right inside the Dom Kultury, the House of Culture, at Alec's insistence. And this is where all the concerts were held. They'd show movies here, films here. And as I mentioned before, the disaster happened just before the 1st of May. And you can see a lot of signs. Здравствуйте, Prvaya Maya. Welcome to the 1st of May. And here's one for the Z praznikom Pobedy 19 Maya. So, celebration, glory to the 9th of May, Victory Day. Yeah. It's hard to believe. All the people who used to gather here every Friday and Saturday nights for discotheques, for events, for movies. Because this place, the Dom Culture, was the center of social life here in Pogonia. Yeah. I don't know if you can see here, right in front of me here. This is the place where the discotheques were held every Saturday night. And the guys would get off the collective farms at 6 p.m. on a Saturday. They'd clean themselves up and they would go to the disco hall here to listen to music, I don't know, by Alla Pugacheva. Who knows? Back in the day. Maybe some Western artists, like Modern Talking. Yeah. And there was an unofficial rule here that if you wanted to come here, you needed to get here before 6 p.m. And that's when the guys arrived. And often as not, there used to be a lot of fights. You know, guys working hard all week and getting drunk, and there's ladies about. Yeah. And they would come in here and they would leave their kopecks on the tray for the woman to take them. And a raucous Saturday night ensued. Yeah, truly incredible. I have to say I'm overwhelmed by what I've seen here. Check this out, guys, for radiation levels here. 0.8. This is 8 times over the limit. That is acceptable. So inside wasn't too bad with 0.2, 0.3, but as soon as we come outside, the levels of radiation has arose. So it's 0.8 microsieverts. Yeah. And of course, Alec at the end of the day will tell us how much radiation we have received from being inside the zone. This will be interesting. So we've arrived at Krasna Sela and we are in the 20-kilometer exclusion zone. And we're not too far from Chernobyl. Okay guys, a bit of extra surprise for you. We're going to climb to the very top of this tower and I'm going to give you a bird's eye view straight across 20 kilometers from here of Chernobyl and Pripyat in Ukraine. And Alec has assured us that we will climb the tower. This is going to be epic. I think this will round off the tour. Okay guys, I'm up about 60 feet or so off the ground in the tower. That was the village of Krasna Sela. And I don't know if you can make it off over there. Approximately 20 kilometers away from here is the sarcophagus that surrounds the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Pripyat in Ukraine. So right in front of me here is the main fire station of the Radioecological Park here just outside Hoiniki. And that is the end of our trip. It's been a long 8 hours. The sun is setting. We left the hotel this morning at 8 a.m. Alex and Alec, they picked us up in the van. And it's been a great trip. It's been a great tour. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you want to go on a trip like this, the trip of a lifetime, well, Natalia Dubrovskaya, I will put her details below in the video description, and you can contact her if you want an exclusive tour. She will organize the tour here of the Polessie Radioecological Park here in southeastern Belarus. So it's from Hoiniki. I bid every single one of you do svidaniya and do встречи.